Have you ever looked into her eyes and felt that strange silence? Where words disappear but something deeper speaks, that unspoken pull that makes you wonder, does she feel the same way, or am I just imagining it? Tell me honestly, how many times have you replayed that moment in your mind? The way she looked at you, the way her laughter lingered a bit longer, or how she brushed her hair back when you walked by. You felt something, didn't you? Something electric yet invisible. But here's what most men never understand. When a woman secretly desires you, she doesn't confess it directly. Her mind and heart play a subtle psychological game, and if you don't know how to read it, you'll miss the signs completely. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." The same goes for attraction. What you see might not be the truth, but what you feel, that's where the secret hides. In this video, we'll uncover 5 powerful signs, backed by psychology and Stoic wisdom, that reveal when a woman is secretly desiring you. If you want to finally understand the female mind without confusion, without overthinking, then stay till the end, because this might just change the way you experience love forever. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Deep Stoic and hit that like button, because what you'll learn today isn't just about women, it's about mastering yourself, your emotions, and your perception of love. So are you ready to find out what she's hiding behind that gentle smile? Let's begin. Sign 1. Her eyes betray what her words conceal. Have you ever had that moment when her eyes met yours and for a second the world slowed down? You didn't speak. She didn't either. Yet somehow you heard her, not through words but through that silent electricity that runs between two souls who aren't supposed to say what they feel. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When a woman secretly desires you, her thoughts paint her eyes with emotions she tries to hide. No matter how much she tries to act calm, her eyes become traitors to her composure. They linger. They soften. They search for you when she believes you're not looking. Imagine Marcus himself, the great Stoic emperor, standing in the gardens of Rome at dusk. A woman passes by, calm, graceful, her words measured. Yet when their eyes meet, she looks away too quickly, pretending to focus on the roses. But her glance returns uninvited like a secret echo. And in that moment, even the philosopher who preached emotional restraint feels a quiet ripple inside. Let me ask you, have you ever been there? That moment when her glance made you forget the noise around you? When her eyes looked away, but you knew she wanted to look longer? Those moments live rent-free in your mind, don't they? You remember the exact second it happened, even if years have passed. Psychology calls this micro-expression leakage, when hidden emotions slip out through tiny facial cues before the brain can censor them. Stoicism calls it the truth of the soul revealed through presence. A woman's eyes may hide behind laughter, denial, or distraction, but her subconscious betrays her desire every single time. Here's the thing. When you notice her eyes finding you in a crowd, don't chase it. Don't act desperate. Stay grounded. Marcus taught that mastery of self is the greatest power a man can possess. When she sees you composed, confident, and centered, her attraction deepens because she feels safe in your calmness. So next time her eyes meet yours and linger just a heartbeat too long, pause, don't rush. Let silence do its work. Because in that silence, her heart is saying everything her lips are too afraid to confess. Sign 2. Her energy shifts when you're around. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly the atmosphere changes? The air feels different, lighter, charged with something you can't quite describe. You notice her. She was laughing a second ago, talking casually with her friends. But the moment you step in, her tone softens, her posture changes, and her attention, no matter how much she tries to hide it, finds its way toward you. That, my friend, is the unspoken magic of energy. And when a woman secretly desires you, her energy betrays her long before her words ever will. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. When a woman feels drawn to you, she loses a small part of that control, not because she's weak, but because desire is the one emotion the mind cannot fully govern. You'll feel it even before she admits it. Her energy becomes attuned to yours, like two frequencies aligning on the same wavelength. Picture Marcus in his royal courtyard, the emperor surrounded by scholars and senators. Yet, his mind drifts toward one woman, a poet who walks silently past the marble pillars. She doesn't speak, but her presence pulls his focus like gravity itself. Her laughter, once distant, now echoes closer. She finds reasons to cross his path, her energy lighting up whenever he enters. He feels it too, the quiet disruption in his usually disciplined calm. Now think about your own story. Have you ever noticed someone who becomes a little different around you? Maybe she talks faster or laughs a little too loud. Maybe she becomes shy, almost nervous, like her heart forgot the script. Psychology calls this emotional mirroring, a subconscious act where two connected people reflect each other's emotions. And here's the Stoic truth. While her energy may be drawn toward you, your strength lies in not chasing it. Marcus would remind you, control yourself, not her reaction. Be present, not desperate. Because when a woman feels your grounded energy, your quiet confidence, she's magnetically pulled toward it. So ask yourself, have you ever felt that invisible pull? That spark when your presence changes the mood of a room? If yes, remember, it's not coincidence. It's chemistry. It's desire speaking in a language only the soul can hear. When her energy shifts for you, even the silence between you becomes electric. Sign 3. She finds subtle reasons to be near you. Have you ever wondered why she suddenly appears wherever you are, almost like fate keeps bringing her close? You go to grab a coffee and there she is. You attend a gathering and somehow she ends up in your circle. Maybe she laughs at jokes that aren't even that funny, or starts conversations about random things just to keep you from walking away. Deep down, you know it's not coincidence. It's her heart searching for a reason to orbit around yours. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." But when a woman secretly desires you, her thoughts often stop belonging entirely to herself. They begin to circle you, your presence, your silence, your energy. She creates reasons to cross paths because she craves your presence but fears exposing her emotions too soon. Imagine Marcus during his reign, a man of order and discipline, yet one evening he notices something unusual. A woman from the palace library, elegant yet unassuming, starts appearing often in the gardens where he writes his meditations. At first he thinks it's chance, but soon realizes her presence is never random. She always finds a reason to be near, a question about philosophy, a comment about the stars, a quiet coincidence that becomes a pattern. And though she never confesses her feelings, her actions whisper louder than words ever could. Now think about your own life. Have you ever known a woman who always seems to accidentally show up? Maybe she's always asking for your help with something small, or always picking the seat closest to you, even when there are others available. Psychology calls this proximity seeking, a subconscious desire to stay close to someone we're emotionally drawn to. And here's where Stoic wisdom comes in. Marcus would say, don't let desire blind you, but don't ignore what's real either. Stay aware, grounded, and observant. Her nearness isn't just physical, it's emotional. She's silently saying, I feel safe around you. So ask yourself, has someone ever made excuses to see you again? A forgotten book, a short text, a random hello? Those little coincidences are rarely accidental. When a woman's heart desires you, she'll always find her way into your orbit, without ever admitting why. And that, my friend, is the quiet poetry of attraction, the universe rearranging itself just to bring two souls closer. Sign 4. She remembers the little things about you. Have you ever been surprised when someone remembered something tiny about you, something even you forgot you mentioned? Maybe it was the way you take your coffee, a song you once said you loved, or that random story about your childhood pet. You probably brushed it off at first, but deep down it meant something. Because when a woman secretly desires you, she starts collecting pieces of you. Every word, every smile, every moment, you become a quiet melody she can't stop replaying in her mind. Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And when a woman desires you, you quietly become one of those thoughts. Beautiful, persistent, and unshakable. She might not tell you outright, but she'll show it in the way she remembers. Desire for her isn't loud. It's detailed. Picture Marcus in the palace courtyard, sitting beneath the Roman sky after a long day of ruling an empire. His scrolls lie open beside him as he contemplates the nature of virtue. Then softly a familiar voice breaks the silence. A woman, the same one from the library, brings him a cup of warm tea. I noticed, she says gently, You prefer honey over sugar. Marcus pauses. He never told her that directly. Yet she knew. She noticed. That small gesture, the sweetness of thoughtfulness, spoke 1,000 words. Now think about your own life. Has there ever been a woman who remembered your favorite drink, your favorite song, or even that story you shared once at 2 a.m. when you thought no one was really listening? That's not casual. That's emotional memory. Psychology calls it selective attention. When someone's mind unconsciously prioritizes details about the person they desire. And here's where Stoic wisdom meets emotion. Marcus would remind you to stay aware. Don't let your ego turn affection into expectation. Instead, appreciate it with calm gratitude. When she remembers the little things, it's her way of saying, "You matter to me," without ever needing to speak the words. So ask yourself, who's been quietly remembering your smallest details? Who listens to what others overlook? Because when a woman starts remembering you like that, it's not just interest, it's affection blooming in silence. And often love doesn't begin with grand gestures, it starts with the smallest memories that never fade. Sign 5, she opens up her vulnerability around you. Have you ever noticed how some people guard their emotions like a fortress until one day they suddenly let you see a side no one else has seen? Maybe she tells you about her fears, her past heartbreaks, or that one dream she's too shy to admit to others. When a woman begins to open up her vulnerability around you, that's not weakness, it's her heart quietly saying, "I trust you." And that trust is one of the clearest signs she secretly desires you. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." That's the very essence of why she begins to open her heart. She feels your strength, not in arrogance but in calm presence. She senses that you're not there to judge, to fix, or to play games. You simply listen, and in that stillness her walls start to fall. Imagine Marcus again, this time not the Emperor of Rome, but a man sitting under the dim glow of the evening sky, speaking softly with the same woman from the palace library. For months, she hid behind polite words and intellectual debates, but tonight her voice trembles. She shares the pain of losing someone she loved years ago, a story she's never spoken aloud. Marcus listens quietly, his heart steady, his gaze gentle. In that moment, philosophy meets humanity, and what grows between them isn't just attraction, it's connection, rooted in understanding. Now think about your own story. Has there ever been someone who suddenly shared something deeply personal with you? Something that caught you off guard, not because of what she said, but because she trusted you enough to say it? That's the soul's confession without words. Psychology calls it emotional safety, a powerful signal that someone's heart feels secure in your presence. And here's the Stoic lesson: don't rush it, don't exploit it, protect it. Marcus would say, when someone entrusts you with their truth, guard it as you would your own soul, because when she feels emotionally safe with you, desire transforms into depth. It's no longer about attraction, it's about belonging. So ask yourself, who's been opening up to you lately? Who's shown you their scars, their softness, their fears? Because when a woman lets you see her unfiltered self, she's not just talking, she's silently asking, "Can I be my true self with you?" And when she does, that's not just desire. That's the beginning of something real. Conclusion. So my friend, now that you've journeyed through these 5 powerful signs, take a moment and think. Has someone in your life shown you these quiet gestures? The lingering eyes, the shifted energy, the subtle closeness, the small details remembered, or the soft unveiling of her heart? Because love doesn't always walk in with fireworks. It often whispers in these hidden ways. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if you will ever dig." The same applies to understanding love. The truth is never loud. It's found in the gentle moments, the quiet pauses, the unspoken emotions that linger between two people who are afraid to admit how deeply they feel. When a woman secretly desires you, she may not say it outright, but her soul will speak through her eyes, her energy, her nearness, her memory, and her trust. You just have to be still enough to notice. Because Stoicism teaches us that love isn't about control, it's about presence. It's about being grounded enough to feel without being consumed, strong enough to care without losing yourself. So if there's someone whose energy feels different around you, someone who remembers the small things, who opens up slowly, who looks at you just a little too long, don't ignore it. But also, don't rush it. Let it unfold naturally with grace and patience, because true desire doesn't need to be chased. It reveals itself in time, to those who are calm enough to see it. And if this video made you reflect on someone from your past, or someone in your present, someone whose eyes once told you everything words could not, then that's your sign too. Listen to your heart, but rule it with your mind. If you felt something today, if this spoke to your own story, then make sure to subscribe to Deep Stoic and like this video. Because here, we don't just talk about love, we understand it through wisdom. Your journey toward emotional mastery and inner strength begins here. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.